Struggling with Excel's calculation and wondering how to make your work easier? Don't worry, I've got you covered in this video. Hi, my name is Olge, also known as the Analytical Nurse, and I'm here to make Excel formulas simple and stress-free for you. In today's video, I'll walk you through some essential Excel formulas. These formulas are game changers. They save you time, reduce errors, and make handling data so much easier. Whether you're working on budgets, records, reports, or just organizing your personal formulas are essential to make the work easier. If you are new here, you are welcome. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of my tutorials and tips. Are you ready to unlock the power of Excel formulas? Let's get started. For the purpose of this tutorial, I've subdivided the formulas into basic, intermediate, and advanced. Starting up with the basic, we'll be starting with Excel formulas for working with numbers. For the sum function, we start with the equal sign, then sum. Use the tab key to select so it shows you that the number one, what range of cell are you looking to submit. So I'll just working with this table that I've created here, and I want to, for example, find the sum of I2 and J2. I have to just highlight the two, press the enter key, and it gives me 100. I can also want to find the sum of all these values in this table. So yes, I will start off with the equal sign, the sum function, use the tab key to select it, then highlight the range that I want to find the sum of. So it is from I2 to J5. Then enter key, it gives me the sum of all these values. I could also highlight these cells and look at the lower portion of the screen, and yes, you will see the sum of the table range. Going ahead to the average, you just want to find the average of whichever value or whichever table. So we'll still be working with this value here. So we start with the equal, select the average function, tab key, and then which number do you, let's say we want to find the average for all the cells or all the values in this I column. So I'll just go ahead to highlight that, enter key, it gives me the average 155. You can also cross check that and look at that. It's 155. Good. So we want to find the median. The median is the middle number in a particular range of cell. Let's say you want to find the median of all these values, in I and J value, in I and J column. So we'll start with the equal sign, median, then the tab key to select that. So it opens up and it will ask you what is the value that you want to find the median for. So we'll still go ahead to select this, press the enter key, and 50 gives us the median. So for the rounding, the roundup number is to round up a number to maybe 1 or 2 decimal points. For example, we have a number here, 9374.37123, and you want to find the roundup of this number. If we use the formula round and highlight the number of the cell that you want to find the number, comma, so it's asking us that how many number digits you want to round it. Let's say I want to round it up to 2, so I'll put 2 and enter. It gives me the roundup. So it has rounded up this number for me, and also gone ahead to change it from general to putting it into a currency or an accounting number to make it more easy to understand. For the dollar function, it's just to convert numbers to dollars. So we'll be working with this 4,000 here, and we start off with the equal sign, then the function dollar, select with the tab key, and then the number that you want to change to dollar or to currency. You can comma, decimal place. I don't want it to have any decimal, so I'll just go ahead to put 0, then enter key. You see it has changed this to dollar, just like this rounding up also changed to number. This changed to currency as well. For the mean is the minimum number in a particular range of cell or range of table. So we'll still be working with this mini table that we've got here. So type the equal mean, select it, and then highlight the mean that we want to work with, where we want to find the mean for, and then enter key. So yes, it tells us that the minimum on this table range is 2. Same with the maximum. You want to find the maximum of a particular data budget that you are working with. Age, you can work with any of that. So we would say max. Use the tab key to select. It's asking us which table range do we want to find the range for, and we go ahead to select. These are small table. If you're working with small data, we're just starting, which is Excel for beginners, starting with small data before we dive into the bigger ones. And enter key. So max enter, it gives us 300. 300 is the maximum that we can see here. So for the VLOOKUP, what VLOOKUP does is that it looks up a value vertically. It looks up a value vertically. So we start always say you want to, I'll just have this table here. I want to, let's say this table here, I'm traveling and I want to find out the transportation cost for using a train or a bus or taxi, whatever. So I'll use the VLOOKUP equals VLOOKUP, the tab key to select. So it's asking me that what value do you want to look up. So I want to look up train, and what is the comma, what is the array of table that you want to look up. I want to look up this table. Then what is the column index that you want to find? It is 2. This is 1, 2, so I'll put 2 there. If it is more than, or if it is not big, you will put 2. And then I want it to find the exact match. So I'll select false and enter. So it's telling me that for train, I have 20 pounds. I want to know the cost of traveling by train is 20 pounds. Yes, so for the count counts all the cells that have numerical values in them. For example, here, let's highlight all this. I want to count the number of, I want to use the count to identify which of the cells have numbers in them. So I'll say equals count. I'll select that with the tab key, and then I'll highlight what I want to count. Let's say I just want to count this, and then enter key. So it counts 8. As you can see here, 8 is telling us that it is only these 8 cells that have numerical values in them. Counts function doesn't count anything that is not numerical. It doesn't count strings, it doesn't count blank. Moving on to the counter. Counter will count every cell that has a value in them, whether it is text, strings, or numbers. So we'll still do the same with the table that we use using the counter function. And we highlight the cell that we want to. And then we press the enter key. It's telling us 30. So if we count all this cell here, is 13, that's counter, it's 13. For the count blank only counts the number of cells that are empty. So we say equal, we're working with some large data. You want to know if there are any blanks on the table that you were working with. So use the count blank, sorry, and then highlight. Let's say we want to use this counter apple, and then press the enter key. You see it's telling us 7. That is all these cells here. Excel has counted it for us. I showed us that is the blank cell. Moving on to if function. So if we want to do the if function, we start off with the if formula. It's a conditional format if you want to find. So we say if, select the tab key. What is the logical test? What is the logical test? Is equal to apple. You need to put your apple in string. If not, it's going to throw out because it's a string and Excel doesn't understand string in the formula. Is equal to apple. So what should they call it? Value if true. That is to say that if a cell is apple, what do you want that to be called? So I want it to be called fruit, comma, and if it is false, what do I want it to be called? I want it to be called others, or whatever you want, others. And then I say enter. So it shows me that it is fruit. And we could actually copy this formula here and drag it down. Copy. So if item is equal to apple, I want it to be called fruit. If not, call it others. So we see fruit. And if we drag this function down, everywhere that there is apple, it will recognize it as fruit. This is very, very good for classification. Going on to the sum if. So we want to sum if a range of cells meets a particular criteria. So for that, we'll be working with this little table here. So we'll do the sum if equals. So we want to find out what is the, for everyone that is called Peter, what is the total money total value that is assigned to the name Peter. So we say equals sum if and the tab. So we see the range is this, comma, the criteria that we are looking at is Peter, and then comma, the sum range. So for the sum range, it only has to be cells that have numbers in them. So we select this and close the bracket and enter. So it's telling us that for every cell in this range that has Peter in them, Excel is going to sum it up to tell us. And if you could see, Peter here is 7 and Peter here is 20, so that's 27. Good. Moving on to the count if. So if we want to count, it's also like summing, but instead of summing, it counts a particular criteria if a particular criteria is met. So equal, so we start off with the equal count if. Then it's asking what is the range that you want to. So the range is this table. Or we can just say this. What is the criteria for this? So let's say okay. And close it. So it's telling us that OG appeared 3 times on this table. Yes. So looking at Excel formulas for working with date. So for us to get date, say for example you have columns that has year, month and day and all whatnot, and you want to join them all to become date. So here you say we have 2024, or we have, let's say, 22 and 12. So using the date formula, we'll put the equal sign, then type in date tab. So it's asking you which column has your year in it, and we'll select F3, comma, which column has your month, that will be H3, so we select that, comma, and which column has your day function, and that's G2, I need to say F2, H2 and G2. So we close the bracket and it gives us, so you see it gives us the date instead of having them specified just like that. And if we want to find the day from, let's say, from the range of cells that you want to identify which day, I'll use the day formula. So use equals day, tab key, I'll select the serial number that we want to find. So we can select this date and close. So you see it's giving us that is the 22nd that is the day here. Because this date hasn't got an hour and second, we're going to skip this for now and we'll get back to it when we use the other function today. So let's go quickly to weekday. So we do the week, we also use, so we go to month to be able to get the month from this. So equals month, then we select the serial number, enter. So it gives us that 12th is the month in this date. So now we want to find what is today's date. So we can quickly do that with the formula equal sign today, and you close that. So it gives us that today is 22nd of January 2025. We can go further to find out using the now function. It's going to tell us the current time as well as the current date. So let's use equal sign now and close that bracket. So 22nd of January 2025, and it's showing us the hour and the minutes. So for us to extract the hour from this table, all we need to do is equal hour, and where do you want to highlight? So we highlight this cell, enter. So it's showing us 18 because the clock is in the 24 hours. That's why it's showing 18, which is 6. If we want to find the minute, same formula, equal minute. Select the minute, then the serial number where we want to find here, and then close. So it is 4 minutes past 6. And then for the second, let's try that. Even though it didn't specify in the now seconds, I will select this. The second is specified, we'll say 19. So that's it. So we'll be able to know the date, all these formulas that are here. Let's move on to the advanced. In the advanced, we will be working with Excel formulas for working with text and strings. The text are also string. When we say concatenate is to join, let's say last name, first name together for it to become one word. For example, let's say the analytical nurse, and we want to join these three together so that it becomes one word. So how do we do that? We use the concatenate function. So equal concatenate. What is the test one? This is H4 of H3, comma, what's the second test you want to concatenate, comma, and what's the last one? Then you can do the enter function. So you see it has joined this word, it's become one word. They're no longer separated by column. And we can go ahead to add, because you can see here that the analytical, they're all together. So we can go ahead to add on the formula, just put the space so that Excel will understand that there should be space in between the two words. Yeah, that is better. That is better than that. So length counts the number of characters in a given word. Let's say, for example, we want to know the length of this table, of this heading. So we use the L equal to length and then the table. Then open bracket. So the test and enter. So it has counted that this word has 48 characters in them. That is why it is 48. Moving on, the left function identifies the letters that are from the left of the cell. So we'll be doing that. The right also does the same count from the right, and the mid identifies the mid characters in a given word. So let's start with the left. Equal left. Which test do you want us to do? This analyticalness, we're still working with this analyticalness. How many characters do you want it to return from the left? So it counts from THE. So for example, I want it to only return the, I'm going to select 3 and close the bracket. It returns the for me. If I want it to return THEA, what I will do is I will just on this formula edit it and add number of characters 4, because it returns the space as well. That is why it's like that. Okay, so let's leave it at 3. Beautiful. Moving on to the right, just like the left, we use the right formula, right function. Which test are you looking at? We still use our B2. How many letters do you want it to return from the right? So let's say we want to return the word nurse, and that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we say we want it to return 5 letters from the right. That's it, nurse, the analytical nurse. Looking onto the mid identifies this number. It extracts this number of the middle character in a given word. So we start with the equal sign, mid. So it's asking you what is the text. We're still using our B2. So where do you want this text to start from? So we want this to start from A, and A is the 4th letter in this word. So we say 4. And how many characters do you want it to extract? So if we want everything analytical or only analytic, we can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We want it to return just 7 characters. And then we close. Oh, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. Oh, fine, because it actually counted the space. So 9. Still in the space here. That is that. So for the find and replace, they work together, and the shortcut is, for example, we have a table that says Canada, UK, United Kingdom, Kingdom. I want to replace everywhere that the word UK is to United Kingdom. So how do we do that? We use the find and replace. Use the find and replace. One, two, two. What do you want to replace it with? United Kingdom. So it replaces that. Okay. So find. We also do the same for find. Equals find. So find test. What test are we wanting to find? Let's say we want to find Canada. It's within Canada. Starting number 3. The it test. So we want to find if a test, if a cell, the value that is in a cell, whether it's a test or not test. So let's say we have 1 for school. So we want to find out which of these columns has test and which of them have 2. So we say equals is test and the value enter. So it is true. So we can go ahead to put this formula here so that we can look at all these tables. Is equal to is test. Then we select this J8 enter. So because this is not the test and it's why it's returning false, so we can go ahead to drag this down to see what it returns for others. So Paul is a test, school is a test. This is an empty cell, that's why it's returning false. Beautiful. Moving on to lower and upper. This returns for words that are in lower letter, it's returning to capital. Let's say for example we have 4 here and we want it to let's say United Kingdom, for example. United Kingdom. We use 4 for the next one. Okay. We want this to become all lower. So we do equal lower on which test we want it to be. This. So this saves you time of having to do everything one by one. If you have a number of cells, you can just drag it down to fill it up. And for the upper, we'll be using Paul. So we use equals upper and the test Paul. Enter. So it gives this in capital letter. So you can actually turn this to capitals. And how do we do it? Instead of deleting and typing, we say equal upper and the test that we want to enter. So it changes it to all capital letter. Beautiful. So we've done that. So for the trim, sometimes you get data that have spaces in the name and you have to be sure that there's no space in the names before you be able to work with them. For example, if we say United USA, Germany, so we can see these are countries. Before the United there is space, and sometimes you can have space after. There is space before USA and there is space after, and Germany has some space in it. So this is, you use this when you are trying to clean up your data before you start analyzing them. So let's clean up these countries. So we say equal, use the trim function and test that you want it to trim. Enter. So you see it's removed the space that is before United. So if we take this down, it would also do the same for the remaining. So it's cleaned the space in US and even the one in front of it, and Thailand has cleaned the spaces and has made this proper for data visualization or analytics. Moving on, we'll be going to proper. There are some times when you will get data that are not, especially names or test data that are not properly written. For example, you can have data written like this. None. And stuff. And this is very difficult to read, and for you to be able to do this, what you can do is to use the proper So let's say we want to make this to be written properly instead of deleting it. That's the wrong way, a long way to do it. So you could say equals proper, and then the text that we want to. So it's written on United Nations in a proper way. So we could actually drag this down instead of putting the formula. And it has also done the same for non-governmental organization. Beautiful. Finally, have you ever been caught up? I've done this several times. Let's say I have a list. Food stuff. Food. Food items. Let's say food items. Maybe you're making a list of the shopping list that you want to get on. Say rice, egg, bread, chicken, chicken. And you find out that, oh, I didn't want this table to be vertical, I want it to be horizontal. So instead of having to type rice and all, what you can do is use the transpose formula. So equal transpose. What area are you looking to transpose? So we copy, we just highlight this area of cell and that. So it spreads it horizontally instead of using vertical. So instead of deleting your work, you can always do this. Yes. That's it for today's video. Hope you found these Excel formulas helpful and that they make your work so much easier. Remember, the more you practice, the more you become confident with using Excel's formula. If you've enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with anyone who might find it useful. And if you have any questions or topics you'd like me to cover in the future, leave a comment in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you all. Thank you.